You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? Today is Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you do not know who I am your host of the show and of the channel. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. This is the Koffee and Kata morning show. We review some news stories, and then we get to do a little bit of work. We've been working on mobile development, and the past few weeks, we've been working on pushing our apps through the App Store. So we're going to check on the status of that. This past Monday, we pretty much finalized pushing our app into the iOS store, and we shall see where that has gotten us. All right. So without further ado, we're going to get started. Shout out to your car in the building already. Salute to you, your car. All right. So first and foremost, make sure you have your cup of coffee. It is early in the morning. Make sure you have your cup of coffee. I have mine, my Engineer to Win mug. And we're going to jump into the news topics for today. We do have our DevSecOps video premiering at noon Eastern time today. Very, very good stuff. Development, security, operations, how we combine those forces to create extraordinary software development. Right? So make sure you tune in for that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification bell so you can know when that video drops. We're going to have so much fun talking about that. But let's get started. Let's get into our news for today. All right, let me fix this as well here. All right, so our first article for today, we're going to zoom in just a little bit. All right, so retail sales flash warning signs. All right, so in a sign of consumer stress, retail sales edged up just 0.1% in May after revised data showed they fell 0.2% in April. Meanwhile, spending advances 2.3% on an annual basis last month. The Commerce Department announced Tuesday the depressed activity suggests that high interest rates and inflation have begun to inhibit consumer spending, which accounts for 70% of gross domestic product. After the report, Fed funds futures traders raised bets that the central bank will reduce rates twice this year, with almost a quarter of them predicting 3 cuts. The Federal Reserve kept rates on hold last week while lowering the number of projected cuts this year to be just 1. And Tuesday's report also showed declining purchases in 5 of the 13 categories, as lower gasoline prices and Memorial Day sales supported in most. Right. So pretty much, these people are anticipating the Fed's cutting rates at least twice this year, and we are already halfway through the year. Now, I don't think we've had a rate cut yet. The Fed is expecting one cut. I think we reviewed that on Saturday on our morning show, Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate show with Yakar and Mitch. But some of these people, Fed funds future traders, say it might even be 3 cuts. So we shall see. Are interest rates going to go down by the end of the year? Tune in on Saturday mornings to find out. All right. So retail sales are going down. It's not making much progress. People are starting to say, hey, I can't afford this lifestyle anymore. I can't afford this lifestyle. Let's put our timer up, by the way. All right. Next story for today. Apple halts work on high-end vision. Apple is pausing work on its next high-end Vision Pro headset amid weak sales of the $3,500 product, citing an anonymous source. The company, the information citing an anonymous source, the company is still aiming to release a more affordable version of the more affordable Vision model by the end of 2025, according to the report, and originally planned to market 2 versions of the headset, similar to the regular and Pro iPhone models. Apple's shift in focus could influence competitors such as Meta, which sees the Vision Pro as a litmus test of consumer appetite for a premium device. Apple is also shutting down its Pay Later program about a year after launching the service. Instead, third-party lenders, including Citigroup and Affirm, will be integrated into the upcoming iOS 18 software release. So it sounds like, about this part at least, Apple is saying like, hey, it's not probably to our benefit. It's actually maybe to our detriment to be, lending out money and becoming a financial service. Maybe we should be more into the realm of technology and AI and stuff like that, and not have to deal with people's money, because a lot of these pay later programs, you end up waiting to be paid later. And then you got to be like, better have my money. You say, better have my money. And Apple does not want to deal with that nonsense and headache. So it's like, you know what, Citigroup, Affirm, you go and you take care of that. All right. So that, and we have Mitch in the building with his, with Mitch being Mitch, he says, Apple, hey, you know what? Mitch speaks for himself. Because if Apple wants to sponsor, then I have nothing against Apple. All right. And Apple did get me into the App Store. We're going to talk about that very, very shortly. All right. So Apple Vision Pro being put on pause, weak sales for the Apple Vision Pro. Maybe we can find it on OfferUp at half the cost. Who knows? You know what? We should do that check. We will check OfferUp to see if we can get an Apple Vision Pro for the low. All right. So let's jump into our next story. Say it ain't so. Amazon Union Teamsters join forces. The only Amazon union that officially represents U.S. warehouse workers is teaming up with Teamsters as it looks to put up a stronger challenge against the e-commerce giant and finally begin contract negotiations with the company. About 98% of Amazon labor union, which notched a historic win in Staten Island warehouse in 2022, voted in favor of the affiliation, according to the ALU president Christian Smalls, no relation to Biggie Smalls. The Teamsters have designated $8 million to support their cause. Separately, California's Labor Commissioner's Office has fined 2 Amazon warehouses $6 million for not disclosing their worker performance quotas. The ALU hopes its Teamsters alignment pushes Amazon to the bargaining table. What do you bring to the table? Amazon has persistently contested the outcome of the 2022 Staten Island vote. It was rigged. How dare, you know what, let's get in one of these as well.
How dare you?
How dare Amazon challenge the results of an election? Just saying. Imagine if the news actually played sound effects as they were commentating on these stories. You know what? Let's make the news great again, all right? The Teamsters created an Amazon division in 2021 with a long-term goal of organizing Amazon workers nationwide. Oof, Amazon has it down bad. But the stocks still be looking right. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Let's jump into our next article for this morning. In other news, NVIDIA, most valuable public company. That's a fact. It's official. It is official. Calling all tech people, all investors. It's official. NVIDIA has become the world's most valuable public company, the MVP company. The most valuable public company. Shout out to NVIDIA. Its market cap climbed 3.34 trillion, yes, trillion, on Tuesday, surpassing LinkedIn parent Microsoft and Apple, which had been jockeying for the top spot in recent weeks. Corporate and investor enthusiasm for generative artificial intelligence has helped its stock surge over 170% so far this year, reflecting a gain of over $2 trillion. Yes, $2 trillion. NVIDIA is seen as a major beneficiary of the AI boom, since it currently has about 80% of the market for the chips used in data centers. It surpassed Apple's market value earlier this month. Clap it up for NVIDIA. Clap it up for NVIDIA. And clap it up for my stocks in NVIDIA. Bruh. I'm just saying. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right. And last, but certainly not least, an EV maker has filed for bankruptcy. We down bad out here. So, electric vehicle startup Fisker has filed for Chapter 11, not Chapter 10, not Chapter 12, but Chapter 11, bankruptcy protection in Delaware. Shout out to Delaware and all of their, they're trying to get my guy Elon Musk, trying to prevent him from getting paid, PAID, and they got they have first sons, I guess. If you have more than one son, does that make you let's say for Obama's daughters, right? Because there were two of them. Are they first daughters, or is the first one the first daughter and the other one the second? How does that work? How do they break down the daughters? I guess they're first daughters and not or is it first daughter A, first daughter B? I don't know. Whatever. I digress, right? But shout out to Delaware and all its shenanigans. In a statement released Tuesday, the 7-year-old company announced various market and macroeconomic headwinds have impacted our ability to operate efficiently. The move demonstrates the hurdles facing young car makers that have sought to emulate Tesla's success, says the Wall Street Journal. Fisker had released its first EV model, Ocean, a year ago, which was panned by many reviewers for software-related issues. Sounds like they needed a tech coach, Ralph, on the job on the QA side. But could they afford a tech coach, Ralph? In a March filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the California-based company warned that it may run out of money before the end of the year. That's sad. That is sad, because you know what? When we have this sad news, we just have to go to my homie.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
in a we got to call on Nate. Nate, can you help Fisker get out of this bind? Who knows? Who knows? But on that note, that is our news for today. We are going to go to the chat and see what's the dealio, what's my guy Yakar and Mitch, my co-host for the Men Lie, Women Lie Numbers Manipulate show, Saturday mornings at 9:15 a.m. As we join us as we review the weekly economic numbers. We're going to be talking about. We're going to be going over we have our normal numbers for this week, and we're also going to be going over the University of Michigan consumer sentiment. I think it's consumer sentiment. I don't know. It's one of them. Those how people feel about the economy, right? We have to go over that one, and then we have to talk about the FICO score as well. So tune in. Let's see what we have in the chat. So your car says, "Duh, Apple. Come on, Apple. Get it together, Apple. Get it together." So, and with that being said, for you, Apple, you should have known this.
Oh, wow, Mr. Sarcasm. Yeah, I don't care.
You should have known, Apple. You should have known. Now you're down bad. But maybe we can get the Apple Vision Pro for the low. Who knows, right? And your car says you can't sell expensive crap. Oh my God, your car is good. It's getting wild out there. When everyone is already selling cheap crap. Oh my, see, your car's out for blood. Your car is out for blood. And your car also, he asked me to tell you this as well, Apple. He asked me to tell you this.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
It happens, all right? And, we already saw Mitch's very vulgar remarks towards Apple, which I do not back or support by any means. Mitch speaks for himself. And Mitch also says, Apple no more backed by Goldman Sachs for credit cards. Because, Mitch, Goldman Sachs has made its alliance on who it's going to invest in, And it says, we at the cap table. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Fighting words. And your car says, another one, some more flies. Uh-oh. And Mitch says, it's a restructuring bankruptcy. Most companies file Chapter 11. Yeah, I know. But they still need Nate to come in and save the day. All right? And let's see. Mitch also says there are 3 types of debt: structured, restructured, and unstructured debt.
Message.
Let's make a note of that. All right. So that is our news segment and our comments on the news from our dear friends in the chat, Mitch and Yakar. We are going to, what are we going to do? We are going to look into where we're at with our app getting into the App Store. So, like I said on last night's show, a big shout out to Melissa, not Melissa Ford, Yakar, not Melissa Ford and her Honda, but to one of my people, my family member. Melissa got us to 20 testers. Let's put up 20 minutes on the clock, right? Put up 20 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Where's my 20-minute timer? There we go. Put up 20 minutes, right? And, we might be faster than 20 minutes. We'll talk about it. I might even, start mapping out some stories for the watch application. Who knows, right? Who knows? But it's where we're at. And once I'm done with this show, why are you stalking me here? There we go. I don't know why is it. That's so weird. All right, cool. So once we're done with the show, I'm going to be testing out the new version of the software because they let me know they made a fix. They haven't released it yet, but do I want to check it out? And I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to do some sampling, some QA testing afterwards, but you know how we do. So let's just jump over to our Google Play Console dashboard for developers. All right. So we have our 20 testers. Thank you so much to Melissa. They've been updated for 4 days. By midday today, this should change to 5. I mean, just refresh just to make sure. Yeah, by midday today, we should be at 5. And but yeah, for Google, you have to be in there for 20 consecutive days before you can start to apply for production. Let's see what's open testing actually, because so let users sign up to play. Let users sign up to test new versions of your app on Google Play. With open testing, Google Play can users in your choosing countries can sign up to test new versions of your app and provide feedback without it affecting your public rating. But I think open testing is when you have production access. So yeah, we can't even get there. So we have to finish with this closed testing. And then we have like about 10 days to go, which by this afternoon should be like 9 days to go. So if we time it correctly, we should be able to, let's see. Let me see if I can find a calendar here. We are in June 2024. Let's see, June 2024 calendar. So today is the 19th. And 10 days from now would make us, so this would be 7 days, 8, 9, 10. So by like Saturday, the 29th, we should, if all goes well, if no one unbecomes a tester, we should have our 14 days completed. And then, so by like maybe June or July 1st, we should be streaming, applying for production access, because we've done this whole thing from the beginning, especially like because I did some of the development work offline, but the whole process of pushing it through the App Store, we've been doing it in the morning. I mean, if we were to like just say, hey, we're just going to spend like 3 to 4 hours, one stream, we can get everything done. But this is the morning show, just to wake us up, stimulate our minds a little bit. Get the spider webs out from the rest that you got the night before. So we do that in the morning, short stuff. For me, this mobile development, it's not like the end all be all for me, because I'm like, I just wanted to actually see if I can get something in the App Store. And with that being said, we are this much closer in our Google. We're 10 days away from being able to apply for production, all of that good stuff. So that's where we're at. That is where we are at. And your car also said 100% to Melissa, a real one. All right. So next up, we have some news. Breaking news. What is that breaking news? We are in the house. We're in the App Store. We're in the App Store, or the time cost calculator on Apple. So this was surprisingly a very, very quick process. I spoke about it a little bit last night, but on Monday, by quick, I mean from the time that it was submitted to the time that it was approved to be in the App Store. Now, the process of filling out all the forms, it took some time and research and stuff like that. But to actually get into the App Store, that was pretty quick. It was, I have to say, let me see if I can find the details, right? Let me check my email real quick, because we submitted it in the morning, maybe like 8 something. And let me see. Where was it? So we submitted at 8:11 a.m. on Monday morning, and it was approved. It was approved by, your submission was accepted. Welcome to the App Store. By 4:45 p.m. on Monday. So 8:11 a.m. When we were submitting it, Apple said like in most cases, like most get approved within 24 hours. Like I think they said like maybe 70% gets approved in 24 hours, and then like 95% gets approved in 48 hours. But it took like less than a day, like less than 12 hours. We were approved and we were in the App Store. And I was like, is it really in the App Store? So I sent it to a cousin of mine. I said, hey, are you able to see this? And he was like, oh yeah, I just downloaded it. I'm like, get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of here. So, so that is pretty cool. So now let me see, before I even share the screen, let me make sure there's nothing crazy that's going to show up on the screen when I switch to this tab. All right, let's go here. All right, so we can go back. All right, cool. So we can go back. Let's go to here. And let me check this memory thing real quick. Not bad. All right, so looking at over here, so it says ready for distribution. I mean by ready for distribution, it's already being distributed, to be honest with you. Let me see. This information is fine. All right, cool. Yeah. So, yeah. So here, and I started doing like the Mac OS, but I don't even know if I have a Mac OS app on this. I have to check if Flutter creates that, but I started creating this one by mistake. I should probably just get rid of it, to be honest with you, because I didn't mean to actually prepare this for submission. I don't even know how to get rid of it actually. Let's see. But anyways, that's okay. So yeah, it's pretty much here. Its status is ready for distribution, but it's already been distributed. It's in the App Store. We are good to go. So that was pretty cool. That was awesome to see that we could get into the App Store so quickly. So let's do some recap and feedback on the whole process of getting into the App Store. I would say that I was a bit surprised, right? I was a bit surprised. So let's get to full screen. So let's put it like this. So I'll say this, right? And Mitch is not going to be happy about this, but the Apple process for submitting and for submitting the app to the App Store and like the whole process getting approved, it is a much cleaner process. From the way that they set up their testing, like using test flight and stuff like that, it is much cleaner. Let me see. Let me take a look at test flight real quick. So, for instance, when you are looking at test flight, so okay, let's start over, right? Let's start over. So, to be a tester on Apple, you need to use test flight because you're not just going to be installing an IPA file on a device, and you can't just send somebody an IPA file like you can do with Android. You can send them an APK file, but so you need to have your app get registered with Apple, and you need to become a developer and all that good stuff, right? And then you need to sign up for test flight. So now whoever is going to be testing your application, they're going to be using test flight in order to, so the app is going to be delivered to them through test flight. And what happens is with that is like you're able to see so much more data on the testing experience. So I will show you what I mean. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. Let's see. I want to make sure there's no one stat. All right, I can't show that per se, but I'll tell you what it shows, right? So everyone who's testing, it shows them exactly what version of the app that they have installed, what day that they installed it. It tells you how many sessions that they've had. Let me see what else. Yeah, it tells you all of that stuff. So it's much cleaner. It's much cleaner for you to be able to see what's going on, right? And then the process of getting so you have to like fill out a bunch of forms and stuff like that. So which is typical on Google, you have to fill out a bunch of forms as well. And then once they approve it, you can have it where you can manually push it to the App Store, or you can have it where they automatically push it to the App Store. I had it set for automatically, and then it was there. Went to the link, saw it there. Junior was able to. So Junior, like Junior was able to download it. Shout out to Junior. And yeah, so to me, like, that was a very, very smooth process. The whole ecosystem, they put a lot of thought into their testing, because, you know, one thing about Apple, they are very, very focused on quality, but you also pay for that quality. That's a fact.
Thank you for your patronage.
All right. Now, on the other side, with Google, they just all right. Going into the internal testing where you have to like sign up users and stuff like that. And then I was talking about yesterday, the level of like, you want the path of least resistance, right? But Google, they make you jump through a bunch of hoops to get the testers in there. So, for instance, what we had to do on Google is we had to set up like internal testers. So we had to create a testing group where we would have like our internal testers, right? So I have a list of people who can test, and then after I sign them up to be a tester, then I have to send them a link so that they can actually say, yes, I'm opting in to be a tester and be able to, and this is the internal testing part, right? Now, once we fill out all the forms, because you can go into internal testing without anything being filled out, you know, you just upload it there. But once you are ready to go into closed testing, you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and stuff like that, right? And once you fill out that paperwork and everything is done, then you can actually go into closed testing. You're not going into closed testing until you have that paperwork filled out. Once that's done, then you have to get 20 testers for 14 consecutive days. Now, it's not as easy as you think to get those testers, you know, because you have to market it, right? You have to market it, and the thing is to get the tester. So now, after someone says yes, they want to be a tester, then you add them to be a tester. Then you also have to send them a link where they have to click on, yes, I opt in to be part of the testing program for this app. So it's so many different steps that you have to go through, because first you have to get their email address for Google. It has to be their email address for their Google account, whatever they use to log into the Play Store. And then you add it to the list, right? And then once you add it to the list, now you have to get the link and say, hey, this is the link that you need to go to and click on this little button that says, yes, I want to be a tester for this app. And then it's going to show them up as a tester after they actually click that button. If you guys know about marketing and marketing funnels and pipelines, you can get like on your initial push. Let's say you do a email marketing campaign, right? You can push 100,000 emails out. Let's say 10% of them respond to that email. So you have 10,000 people who take they click on the link that's in your email, right? And now from there's like some type of call to action where they have to say, yes, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Now, let's say out of that 10%, or that from the 100,000, you have another 10%, or let's say you even have 5%, right, who actually take that next step. So now you went from 100,000 emails being pushed out to 500 people left. So you want to have at the least barriers to entry, but Google puts a lot of barriers into that testing program. And then once you get into the testing program, right? Once that's done, then you also have to wait 14 consecutive days. So run your closed test with at least 20 testers for at least 14 days. Testers, and they have to be in there continuously, right? They must have been opted in for the last 14 days continuously. So now, what if one of those testers say, this is taking up space on my computer or on my phone. I don't want to be in this program anymore. I need the space. I need the space. So they take it off on the 13th day. On the 13th day. Now your closed test is right. You have to start over. And not only that, after your test is finished, then you have to answer some questions about your closed test. So what are the tests they want you, the questions, right? So we looked into this briefly the other day. So you have to answer questions about production readiness, about your closed test, about your app game, production readiness, all that stuff, right? And it's amazing because I have seen some trash, as my guy Mitch would say, some trash apps. And they like you put them on and they start trying to like say, oh, what do they call it? Get this antivirus and all this type of nonsense. So I'm like, how do these people make it into the App Store? But so they want you to tell about your closed test, let them know how easy it was to you found it to recruit testers for your app by selecting one of the options listed, provide information about engagement, summarize the feedback you receive from testers. Let's see. Tell us about your game or your app. Let us know who's intended audience. Be as specific as possible. Question varies slightly depending on whether you're an app or developer for apps. Describe how your app provides value to users. If you're not sure what we mean by this, visit the Android developer site to learn more about app quality on Google Play. Now, this is very interesting because Google's asking how your app provides value. Well, I mean, there are some apps on there. I guess they provide some sort of value. Is it good value? I don't know. Just saying. I'm just saying because, some people end up in some precarious situations based on the apps that they use on these devices. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. So let us know how many installs you expect your app to have in the first year. Oh, I'm going for a Billy. I'm going for a Billy. But we can settle out of court right now for 20. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. And then you says click next. If you click discard, you quit. Finishing your application, the production access you have, your changes won't be saved. All right. So after you apply for production, so we are 10 days out of this, at least 10 days out of this process right here, which is it's a bit annoying, to be honest, because I would think that to get into Google Play Store, it should be so much easier than Apple, but apparently that's not the case, right? So after you apply for access to production, and which we're looking to do this around July 1st at this point, after you complete your request for access to production, we'll review your submission. When the review is complete, we'll email the account owner with an update. This usually takes about 7 days or less, but occasionally may take longer. I'm a bit baffled by this. What's going on? Rod Brown in the building. Shout out to Rod Brown. And it's like, why does it take so long? And maybe, you know what? Maybe, honestly, I don't know. Because why did I go for Google first? When I was pushing to the app stores, I don't know. I was like, let's just get Google, because I'm like, oh, Google's gonna be easier. That's what I said. In my mind, I said Google's gonna be easier. There's gonna be less hurdles to jump and everything like that. Let's push to Google, and then we'll figure out Apple. Now, Apple, we're in the App Store. We're in the App Store, and we're still waiting another 10 days for Google, which that's only to apply for production. After we apply for production, then there's another 7-day waiting period. Hard out here. It is hard out here.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Right. So if your app isn't ready to be published, you may be required to continue testing your app. Examples include not having 20 testers opted into your closed test, or your testers not being engaged with your app during your closed test. So I'm like, hey, open the app, do some stuff. If your application is successful, you can access production, release production, and you can make your app available to billions of users on Google Play Store when you think it's ready. You can also use open testing. We recommend testing your app extensively before publishing it to production, and routinely testing for any future updates you make. All right. So that's where we're at. That is where we're at. We're at least another. Let me see. Another at least 17 days away from actually getting access to the billion of Google Play users around the world. We'll see. We shall see. But that is where we're at. We're going to, so now that we're in this waiting game, come Monday, we're going to start mapping out our stories or our ideas for the mobile app. So we're going to need to figure out how to get Flutter to do the watch app. I meant the watch app. Get Flutter to do a counter, track the time, track it's kind of like a stopwatch, but it's a stopwatch in two directions. It's a stop money watch, showing you how much you're spending on a particular activity based on the time that you're taking. So so my idea is you input your, you find out what your hourly, or actually not, you probably do it by the second, how much a second of your time is worth. And then as each second goes up, then the value of time goes up as well. So if you are feeling that you're wasting time or spending too much time on something, it's being unproductive, you can just look at your watch and says, hey, it's time to go. It is time to go. All right. So that's my thoughts. Open to suggestions, whatever the case may be. But we do have some more enhancements that we're also going to be making on the actual mobile apps. But we want to explore, right? Because like I said, my goal for this isn't to create this like specific, exclusive, lucrative app. It's to learn. Because push comes to shove, now when we have a app that we're like, okay, this is going to be like really, really impactful, really, really cool, we know how to do it. I don't want to learn. See, I don't like learning when it comes time. I like to be prepared. Other than Mitch in your car, who can just like not study for the ACT or the SAT for their entire at all, and then just go and get like the highest score, right? I heard Mitch got a 42 on the ACT, and it goes up to like 30. How did he do it? I don't know. And for the SAT, your car broke the curve. He's like, there will be no curve. That's what your car says. Your car walks in and says, there will be no curve, So you guys blame your car, blame Mitch, right? Because they make it impossible for us commoners to be to get a curve, to be graded on a curve, right? Anyways, I'm just playing around. Mitch, let me know. I'm sure it's coming in 3, 2, 1. Mitch is going to say, as usual, with no respect, that joke was trash. I know it's coming. That's why I did the Eminem on you. I said it before you, Mitch. I said it before you. All right. All right. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, you guys. I'm going to get to testing this software, and I'm going to get some more rest because it's been a crazy, crazy week. And remember, we have DevSecOps coming out tomorrow. You see what's happening over here? See what's happening? Rod Brown he's bragging as well. We're gonna go through the chat before we wrap it up because I like to highlight you guys and your awesomeness. Okay, but we do have DevSecOps coming out at noon Eastern time today. Tune in for that premiere. It's gonna be fun. I'll be in the chat. I know your car will be there. I know Mitch will be there. Rod Brown. Hopefully, I can see you there. Maybe we'll get the wealth building journey. Maybe we'll get Ferris. We shall see. But it's going to be awesome. And tomorrow night, we're going to be going live. I'll probably be continuing a little bit more with our API documentation, Swagger auto-generate. As your car says, no one on the corner auto-generates Swagger like us, all right? But let's go through the chat real quick. Your car he finds it amusing about how I know how he just winged the SATs and got top score, broke the curve. And he says, I'm a human computer. I'm logged in. And Rod Brown with the humble brag, I didn't study for the SAT and I crushed it. And I didn't even put Junior on the screen. I didn't even put Junior on the screen. Junior, what's up, Junior? How are you doing today? Good morning to you as well. All right. With that being said, we're gonna get out of here. But it's the morning show. It's the morning show. But I had a good time today, which I always do. But I have to know because I asked last night. I want to ask this morning as we head out for the day. It's hump day, right in the middle of the week. Let's get after it. Let's get after it, as we always like to ask.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I am very entertained because we're in the App Store. We're in the Apple App Store. Eventually we'll be in the Google App Store. But if you haven't done so, go ahead, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Only if you want to win with us.
I mean, all we do is win, man. You know that.
And if you don't want to win, then go ahead and do what you do. But we are in it to win it. And on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out. Have an amazing, amazing Wednesday. See you guys.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.